Hey everybody, it's Timo at the Bulwark here with managing editor Sam Stein. The vote is in 51 in favor and 49 against, confirming Kash Patel as director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Repeat that. Sorry.
Kash Patel.
No. The position. You're kidding.
Yeah, director of the
Director of the
Federal
FBI.
Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yeah, that's going to be Kash Patel's job. The guy that wrote the children's book about QAnon and Donald Trump being a king. That's him running the FBI. I have two thoughts. One, and so I'm in sorrow and in anger. So do you want to go first?
No, I would not want to get in the way of your sorrow.
You want me? Do you want sorrow or anger first?
Let's start with sorrow.
Okay. I received a text from a former FBI official as I was coming up here.
Right.
This is so depressing. The guy who blamed January 6th on the FBI is going to lead the agency.
Yeah.
Goes on and on. That's a pretty good way to sum it up. And it's
across
dark.
the board. Didn't RFK Jr. blame, the CDC or the administration for starting COVID? He thought it was a government thing, and now he's going to lead it. And it's like, these people want to tear down the institutions they're not going to lead. I think that's what these people want, right? Like that's the idea.
That's the point of it. That is, the FBI folks I've heard from, the whole thing is so ludicrous. Because most of the FBI is conservative. There are a lot of Trump voters who are inside the FBI, and what we're about to see is, at minimum, I think, a gutting of the anyone that is charged with looking into domestic terror threats, non-Brown version, and there's going to be at minimum sidelining, if not firings, of really credible law enforcement officials whose job is to keep us safe, and all they did wrong was get included in the investigation of Donald Trump for his coup attempt and his other various crimes. The whole thing is
under the name of depoliticizing the FBI. They will purge the FBI of anyone that they don't believe is loyal to Donald Trump. And what you'll have is a bureau that basically, in the most benign sense, a bureau that basically follows or pursues his specific objectives, right? Less interested in domestic terrorism and stuff like that, and more interested in fentanyl, drug cartels, immigration, that type of stuff. In the most alarming version of this, you have a completely guardrail-free FBI that is launching actual political investigations under phony pretexts and on Democrats and doing stuff that was reminiscent of the worst days of J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, and if you were of the view that it was going to be the first, just this sham depoliticization where all they do is just not investigate friends, or and friends include all the way up to white domestic terrorists, and whatever, maybe some foes get targeted, but they do it through the law.
Sure.
I don't know, the Eric Adams situation, I think, would seem to disabuse anybody of the notion that it's going to be on the lighter end of that scale. I mean, they've already specifically, basically the first action of the Pam Bondi DOJ was to say, we're going to cut an explicitly political quid pro quo deal with somebody. So, I mean, I guess that's not targeting someone, but it's
selective prosecutions and selective non-prosecutions, right? And so in this universe, let's say theoretically, someone at the Department of Justice is tipped off that a friend of Donald Trump has, committed some sort of public corruption or private corruption, and it falls into their lap, and they have to make a choice about whether to have the FBI investigate it. That ain't gonna happen, right?
Yeah,
there's no way that's gonna happen. And then the flip side of that is, do they, launch investigations based on flimsy pretenses and into people who, they just don't like? And you're starting to see, I mean, this is not FBI obviously, but the Attorney General of DC office under Ed Martin is he's putting out statements, we're going to look into Chuck Schumer because he said something about Doge and its workers there. It's what?
Yeah, sorry, he's looking into who's the tweeter from Minnesota? He's looking into Will Stancil.
Will Stancil.
Look at Will Stancil for bad tweets.
The most important threat, the most pressing matter in all of human history, Will Stancil. No, it's dark, man. And it's it's, what was it like? Early Trump years, Kash was kind of like this weird mythical weird figure who was kind of in and around the White House, and people were like, "What is he doing?"
He's in Nunez world at first.
In Nunez world, and like what unmasked and stuff.
He'd show up in Europe doing like rogue investigations into the dossier,
and like serious people were like, "This guy is kind of insane and dangerous to have around." But Trump 2.0 is that these are the people who are running this stuff, and we're just in uncharted territory here. And I guess I'm a little bit surprised. I shouldn't have been. I thought this one might have been a step too far for Republicans, but you know.
Okay, well that takes us nicely to anger. Do you want to guess who I'm angry at? Because it might not be the obvious. It might be the obvious person that I'm like. I just did yoga, so I'm looking so fresh. But I have not namaste'd. I'm consumed with rage at one person in particular.
Is it a? Can you narrow it? Is it a senator?
Sitting senator?
Sitting senator
and his key supporters.
Oh man, jeez, I don't know. It could be.
It's fucking Davos Dave McCormick. It's fucking.
Why Davos Dave?
Because here's why. It's a double reason. Number one, Dave McCormick.
He's got a 6-year term.
Up for election again in 6 years.
Right.
Okay. Who the hell knows what things will look like in 2030 or 32? When would you be up? 30 in 2030.
Your math is pretty solid, but 2030, yes.
Yeah. Like, who knows what the world will look like then? So the idea that you're doing this out of political fear or whatever is crazy.
Sure.
The thing that gets me even more than him himself, though, is like he was like the safe person for all the people in my world to go support. Right. So even the people that are anti-Trump, big donors to the Bush family, W himself had an event for him. Rove, like that world, like folks that I know. But across the world into business world, Davos Dave was like, very popular among kind of non-political Jamie Dimon type centrist rich guys. Okay. So he gets millions in support for all these guys. And their rationale always in doing that, when I pressed them on this, and I got to press one of them on this on a panel private thing recently, but it was like, well, it's better to have Davos Dave there than Doug Mastriano or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, obviously.
And it's like, why though? Really? Why? If Dave McCormick is going to be the fucking tie-breaking vote or the 51st vote to make Kash Patel the director of the FBI, then what is the difference between him and Doug Mastriano? None.
So
there's no difference. This would be the moment for him to just be like, okay, I've got leverage. Maybe Tom Tillis, fuck you too, but we'll give you a break because you're up in 2 years. I'm not up in 6 years. I'll take this arrow. There are guys that are worried about this. There are senior FBI guys that are worried about this. We know about them. There are people that have deep relationships with Republicans. Like, I'm going to take the arrow on this one. This guy is too dangerous, too clownish. I'm going to be against it. But no, he might as well fucking just be a random commenter on like Newsmax, like Dave McCormick. What's the fucking difference?
So I was talking, it's funny you said this because Sarah Longwell and I have been talking about this, and it's a column she's got to write if she's listening to this, Sarah, about just like what there is no, the moderate Republican senator kind of, you don't have to hand it to them ever at this point. They're not really doing anything. It's Dave McCormick. I mean, what is this guy? The senator from Utah, John Curtis?
Yeah.
John Curtis. He was supposed to be Mitt Romney 2.0. The guy voted for all of these people. As far as I can tell, unless I'm missing something, I think he voted for every one of the controversial nominees. That dude's not up for 6 years either. I mean, so, and like, the insider reporting stuff is that, well, they structured their vote. They didn't, so that they could object in some places, not others, and not tank these nominees. And well, they want to make sure that John Thune comes out looking strong because he's sort of more responsible, and they got to give him some credibility. And it's just like, no, at some point, if you believe something is wrong, you just do what you can to oppose it. And that's just not happening here. And ultimately, the only thing you can really conclude is that they like it. Or they want it.
That they want it. And so this is why we're going to get into, like, there'll be a Georgia Senate race this year, and the same people that pushed McCormick will push Brian Kemp. Yeah. And it's just like, make Marjorie Taylor Greene the fucking senator, okay? Like, there honestly isn't a difference. There isn't a difference until Dave McCormick or John Curtis does one thing that demonstrates they're different from Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're not. They might as well just put on the fucking hat and start saying retard again and doing whatever is possible that makes MAGA people happy, and start doing conspiracies, call Zelensky names, do it. Like, just, you might as well just do all that, because you're not doing anything better than that.
I would say the only difference, and to your point, like the real difference is just the superficial one, which is, are they willing to be public facing and crazy online? And that stuff matters. I'm not saying that doesn't matter. Like the sort of ruining the discourse, the conspiracy addled crap that they subject us to, like that matters. And I'm grateful that they don't do that. But like, the real substantive stuff, the actual distinctions are not that profound, and certainly not in the way that the insider Republican crowd was pitching it during the election. So okay.
So anyway, eat a dick, Dave McCormick. This is buckle up, everybody, because this is a dark, not in the good way, because this is a dark period we're turning into. Kash Patel,
you and I did a thing early on before the confirmations where we sort of ranked the fears we had about all four of the big ones. I forget what you did, but now that it's happened, how do you assess your?
That's a good question. Because rankings? I think I ranked Tulsi first and then Kash. I don't remember. We'd have to go back to the tape on this.
I think you did do Tulsi first,
but it's Kash. Sometimes you have to really experience something to know what your body feels like. And the more we've gone through this, and Kash's blatant, I think, obvious lies. You don't know for sure, but it's reporting. But it seems very likely that he just bald-faced lied during his confirmation hearing. I think Kash is the most alarming. And Tulsi and Hegseth and your man RFK last, but
RFK last.
Yeah, but I mean, just because I'm so alarmed by the others, like the measles is not great, but my child's vaccinated, so here's where.
Okay, so it don't matter. Look, I'll just say, as we are doing this, news has broken. RFK Jr. is preparing to remove members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee and other outside health panels who he determines have conflicts of interest. So, no, I stick with mine. I still think RFK is gonna. I still am more fearful of him than all the others, but Kash is up there for sure.
Okay. I got to run. Yeah. Everybody, subscribe to the feed. Thanks to Sam Stein.
I have so much more I want to talk about.
We'll hang out again later. We'll just do another video. There's videos all the time now. Subscribe to the feed. You'll see the next one, and we'll get to hear what Sam wanted to talk about next. That's a tease. See you soon.
Tease. Bye.
Hey, YouTube fam. If you want to support the Bulwark, the best way to do it is by becoming a YouTube Bulwark Plus member. The Bulwark is truly independent. We have no corporate overlords. We're not settling any dumb lawsuits with Trump. By joining, you help support our work, and you can get a bunch of perks right here on this platform. Ad-free content, bonus videos, live streams, and some emojis of me, which I guess some people want. So come join, come hang out, become a Bulwark YouTube Plus member, and I'll be seeing you in the comments. So behave.